So the film starts with Yelena, who works as a secret agent for CIA Director Valentina. But even though she's doing this work, Yelena feels like her life has no real purpose. She feels like she's living in a void, in a world filled only with darkness. This feeling comes from the grief she carries inside her over the death of her sister. We then see Valentina in a press conference. There are allegations against her that she's secretly experimenting to turn humans into superhumans, which is illegal. In her defense, Valentina simply says, "I'm only trying to save this world because now the Avengers are gone. They won't come to save us anymore." The court decides that every institute under Valentina's control will be investigated. After that, her punishment or the withdrawal of the allegations will be decided. Next, we see Yelena at a research center in Malaysia. She's there to erase evidence against Valentina. The CIA had already destroyed all the other labs that Valentina was running, and this was the last one left. Yelena scares the scientist there so much that he ends up killing himself. After that, Yelena walks out of the building and destroys it using a remote-controlled bomb. After completing her mission, Yelena goes to meet her stepfather, Alexei, and tells him how sad and empty her life feels. Alexei advises her, "Why don't you take on missions that have real meaning? Missions that actually help people and where people appreciate what you do." Yelena likes Alexei's advice. She also talks to her boss and says, "I don't want to do any more secret missions." From now on, she wants to work openly and in public. Valentina agrees, but only on one condition: Yelena must complete one last secret mission, and after that, she'll be free. Valentina gives her the address of a secret vault and tells her that an agent named Ava Starr is inside. Ava has the power to make herself invisible and is stealing secret research from the vault. Valentina says, "You have to stop her. Eliminate her if necessary." Yelena agrees to do this last mission. We see her outside the vault for a while, and then she goes inside. But she doesn't see Ava anywhere. Suddenly, a boy named John attacks her. At the same time, a third agent shows up and attacks John. Meanwhile, Ava appears, and she kills the third agent. After some fighting, Yelena becomes confused about what's really going on. Then, a frightened boy steps out in front of them, and suddenly, all the doors to the vault shut. Yelena starts to realize that Valentina Henley, all the doors to the vault agents, Ava, John, and the frightened boy, know the truth about Valentina, and she wants them dead. She erased all the evidence, and now she wants the agents who know the truth to kill each other. Yelena tells everyone in the vault, "Valentina set us up. She's behind all of this. We're just pieces in her plan." Now, John, Yelena, and the frightened boy named Bob are trapped in the vault. Ava, who can become invisible like a ghost, tries to leave, but they find out she's also been trapped by a sound wave barrier. On the other side, we see Valentina, who gives the order to blow up the vault. Inside the vault, the group tries to find a way out. Yelena comes up with a plan. First, they need to get Ava out of the vault, so she can open the door from the outside. They start searching for the battery that powers the sound barrier. Meanwhile, Valentina activates a time bomb remotely. But luckily, the group finds the battery just in time, deactivates the sound barrier, and Ava escapes. She opens the vault and saves the others. When Valentina finds out they survived, she immediately orders them to be killed. She sees Bob on the CCTV footage. Valentina didn't know about him before, so she tells her assistant to find out who he is. She also sends more secret agents to kill them. What Valentina doesn't know is that her current driver is actually Yelena's dad, Alexei. He knows the vault's location and her whole plan. Back inside the vault, John asks Bob, "What are you doing here?" Bob says, "I don't remember much. I just remember that I gave blood for a medical study. After that, I woke up here with you all." John doesn't believe him and starts hitting him, but Yelena stops the fight. She says, "This won't work. If we want to get out of here, we need to work together." John uses his strength to break a wall and create a path to the elevator. But the elevator isn't working because of a power cut. John comes up with a new idea: "We can go up if we tie our waists together and climb." Meanwhile, Valentina finds out that Bob is one of her test subjects. As far as she remembers, all those subjects had died. Then, she starts to remember that if Bob is still alive, it means one of her experiments actually worked on him. When she realizes this, she's shocked and heads toward the vault. Somehow, the others manage to climb up through the lift, and they see that Valentina's people have come to kill them. Valentina had already ordered her men to capture all 4 of them alive. She enters the vault by setting off a small explosion outside the main gate. Inside, Yelena tells the man named Bob, "If you want to stay alive, just stay behind me." Bob looks really stressed here and says to Yelena, "I think all of this is happening because of something bad I did." Yelena replies, "Don't think that way. We've all been through some terrible things in life, or done some ourselves." As they're talking, they hear sounds of fighting outside. When they go out to check, they see that John has taken down all the enemies who were coming in. At that moment, Valentina sends another group of men after them. Yelena, who's an excellent fighter, protects Bob by defeating all of them. Then John joins them. Now, they need to escape. Yelena puts on one of Valentina's soldiers' uniforms and walks out in disguise. They plan to flee in a car, but a guard stops them. Bob gets out of the car, fires his gun into the air to get everyone's attention, and tries to say something. But the guard assumes he's a threat, and all the other guards start shooting at him even though Valentina is shouting from behind to stop them. She didn't want him dead yet, she wanted to see if the experiment had really worked. But now the experiment had flatlined. Yelena and John are heartbroken when they see this, but they take advantage of the chaos and escape. Meanwhile, we see that Bob is still alive, even after being hit by what seems like 1,000 bullets. Not only is he alive, but all his wounds are completely healed. The soldiers shoot at him again, and suddenly, he shoots into the air like a rocket. Standing in the clouds, he's lost in deep thought, until he suddenly faints and drops from the sky. The fall is so fast due to gravity that it flips Yelena and John's car. Yelena, John, and Ava are shocked when they see him and witness his powers. That's when John tells them he's one of Valentina's experiments. She was trying to create a superhuman, and I came to the vault to destroy all the evidence. The others are stunned to learn this. The next morning, Valentina tells her assistant to capture Bob alive. At the same time, she gives orders to kill the other 3 secret agents. Just then, Alexei arrives. Yelena is surprised to see him, but he tells her, "I heard about Valentina's plan to kill you all. I also learned about the vault from what she said. Your life was in danger. I came to warn you." He had known everything since the day before. They were about to leave in Alexei's car when Valentina's men suddenly appear from behind and open fire. John tries to protect everyone using his shield, but this time, it's not working. Just when it seems like they're all going to die, a hero arrives from behind and destroys the cars of Valentina's men while firing bullets. The scene shifts to Valentina and Bob in a watchtower. Bob is visibly upset about everything that's happened. When he sees Valentina, he becomes even more frightened and starts talking to her. Valentina calmly tells him, "Look, I've taken your boring life and given it meaning. Now you have more power than 100 people, you can do anything." As she says this, she touches his hand. The moment she does, he enters a strange void, a dark world inside her mind, where she remembers the trauma of her childhood, how her enemies shot and killed her father. She snaps out of it, pulls her hand back, and tells her assistant to organize a press conference. Meanwhile, we see that the person who saved the 4 of them is now holding them in custody. He tells them, "You all need to testify against Valentina." They agree to help him, but also say, "Please let us go for now. It's more important to stop Valentina first." He tells them everything he knows about Valentina and the experiments she's been doing, how Bob was turned into something incredibly powerful. But until now, he still doesn't fully believe what they're saying. Then he gets a call from Valentina's assistant, who tells him that she's going to hold a press conference about Bob. That's when it hits him, Valentina has created something extremely dangerous, something that could put the entire world at risk. So now he into a shadow just with the gesture of his hand. Some people had also come to attack him in a helicopter. He kills them by turning them into shadows too, and the helicopter crashes. Because the helicopter crashes into a building, the building also starts collapsing, and the lives of innocent people are in danger. Yelena and her entire group start saving people's lives. While saving everyone, they remove the big walls of the building and make a place in everyone's hearts. Everyone claps for them, so all of them feel content. Now, these people didn't even come out of this feeling when another problem arises. Sentry started turning people into shadows. He began spreading negativity and darkness everywhere. Killing him wasn't easy. Yelena understood this. That's why she gave herself over to the void, meaning she gave herself to the negativity, and she also turned into a shadow. Seeing this, Alexei was devastated and lost control in grief, so she wanted to talk to Bob, so she went toward him. But when she regained consciousness in the void, that is, in the dark world, she ended up reliving her worst memory, where she had caused the death of a little girl. For the first time, she couldn't escape this memory for a long time. And just when she got out of it, she entered another unpleasant memory. She was constantly looking for Bob in this dark world. In one of these memories, she finally saw him. Yelena spoke to Bob and asked, "Why didn't you stop all this?" Then Bob said, "It's not me, it's the negativity inside me that became a part of me because of loneliness." Yelena also saw Bob's sad past memories, where his father used to treat him very cruelly. Seeing this, Yelena felt sympathy for him. She sat down and held Bob's hand. These two were about to connect, but the negativity started attacking and killing them both. Just before the negativity could finish them, their other companions arrived. Each of them had also been fighting their past, and they managed to save both Bob and Yelena. The group decided that they had to get Bob out of the void, which meant they needed to fight all of Bob's disturbing memories. Yelena and Bob agreed and began fighting through Bob's painful memories. Finally, they reached the memory when the experiments on Bob were first started in Valentina's lab. In this memory, sitting on the experiment table, they didn't see Bob, but instead, they saw the void. They saw the negative version of Bob, the dark person inside him. Bob decided to fight him. He lost control while fighting and hit the figure over and over, not realizing that by hitting him, he was slowly becoming a void himself. Just before he turned completely black, Yelena pulled herself free from beneath and grabbed him. She made him realize that he wasn't alone. All the others encouraged him and pulled him out of the negativity. They caught Bob and promised that they would always stay by his side. When Bob finally believed that he wasn't alone in the world anymore, the negativity inside him began to fade. The void, the dark version of himself, also started to disappear. Since he had spread darkness all over the world, it too began to vanish as light returned. The people who had turned into shadows started transforming back into humans. An interesting twist here was that Bob had forgotten everything due to his impaired memory. Now that the whole group was back together, they decided to stop Valentina. When they found her, she was standing near a curtain. As Yelena moved forward to finish her, she pulled the curtain aside and saw that Valentina had set up a press conference. She introduced the group to the public as the new Avengers. She claimed that all the accusations against her were false and that she had been working on this project for years. Yelena could see that Valentina was clearing her name. She also gave her a warning but felt a sense of comfort and relief because now, finally, she was getting credit for her missions and the love of the people. At the end of the movie, it's revealed that a new threat has been detected through a satellite, something that this new Avengers team will have to face next. And this is how the movie ends. Thanks.